Hi there. I am going to go through the operation of my new 35 amp 2-cell lipo discharger. I have been producing these for a couple years. Not the 35 amp, that is new. I've been making about a 23 amp on the high rate discharger. This one has got 3 steps. It'll discharge approximately 15 amps, 25 amps, and 35 amps at 7.5 volts. It's up around 37 amps on the high rate at 8 volts, about 33 at the low rate, or at the high rate at 7 volts. And then same way with 25 and 15 amp discharge. It varies a little bit, but it's rated for 15, 25, and 35 at 7.5 volts. Unit. This is a new unit. It's been calibrated. You can go through my discharger calibration video if you would like to. A little long and lengthy, but it kind of describes how the unit is set up. Theories, I'll go through theories as I'm discharging the battery here and kind of show you how it works. I'll go ahead and get set down here. Like I say, the unit's been calibrated already. We'll plug the battery in, that's the first thing. And I'll go through a couple things. This is only for 2-cell lipos, or like a 4 or 6 cell nickel metal, or maybe even a 1-cell. But at the lower voltage, of course, the amp discharge will be lower. So like if you were to discharge a 1-cell lipo, about the most you could get out of this would be about 18 amps, like I said. And one thing, and I think that I figured this out, always make sure you plug that battery in right, positive and negative. If it's plugged in backwards, I think it's alright, but once you turn the unit on, start trying to discharge, it will fry a board inside of there, and you'll have to send it back to me to get repaired. Don't do it. And when it's plugged in backwards, it will show 0 volts, not the battery voltage. So always check the voltage before. Yeah, you know, as you're turning it on, it should have like 7 or 8 volts, whatever your battery has got in it. We'll go ahead and plug it in here. Of course, positive, negative. This battery is about 7, 8. And I'll say another thing, depending on how much of a charge you got in your battery, or the quality of your battery, you may not be able to discharge at 25 and 35 amps. We'll go ahead and try this one. It's at 15 amps right now. I got both of the banks shut off. I'll go ahead and, well, we'll flip on one. We'll go ahead and start and see where we are here. Just click the center button. That'll start it discharging. We're up, see, a little over 25 amps at 7.3. We'll click on the 35 amps, showing that it can discharge at 35 amps. This is a little bit over 35 amps, it looks like. The amperage ain't quite as important, but as much as the voltage. And as it goes down, I've got this unit, and yours will come pre-programmed to shut off at 6.97 volts. Go through the calibration video, and also I will describe it here, how to adjust it a little later on in the video. I'll show you how to store pack here after I go through the discharge. And what I like to do is discharge at the higher rate, let it shut off, click off one of the banks, turn it on again, let it discharge down, and then finally finish it off at the low rate of 15 amps. And that will get the battery down to about 7.15 to 7.3 or 4 volts, just depending on how good your battery is. That's what I like to see. I just like to get the battery warm. It gets the cell active. It helps bring down the internal resistance, and that's why I've built these and started discharging. Of course, I've been discharging for well over 2 years now. I think the quality of my batteries are better. Okay, it's already shut off here at the 35 amp rate. Click the center button, that'll turn off the alarm, and as you can see it's about 7.5, and of course it's creeping up a little bit. So we'll go ahead and click off one of the banks and turn it on again. Say we're a little over 25 amps. This unit's just a little bit higher. But that, of course, it's a rated, resistors are rated a certain ohmage, and calculated that's what it should do. At 7.5 it should be 15, 25, 35. But it looks like this one's just a little bit over that according to the amps. But again, the amperage being off half a volt or whatever, or an amp, ain't such a big deal. The main thing you need to worry about is that cutoff voltage. You see, I'm taking this battery on down now at 25 amps. Trying to think some of the other things I like to talk about. Like I say, I like to get the batteries just a little bit warm. I don't like them hot, but I like them warm when I go to recharge them on my iCharger. Myself, I don't charge like some of these guys do, but I do charge at 25 amps. Have been doing it for a while, and it seems like charging at the higher amp rate, that also gets that cell good and active, and it helps the internal resistance of the batteries and keeps them fresh and good for a longer period of time. I've got batteries over 2 years old that still are as good as some batteries. You almost as good as some you get off the shelf, brand new. Maybe the milliamp ratings down a couple hundred. Maybe the internal resistance is up half a milliohm to an ohm, but yet still down in the 1s to 2s for many of my packs yet. Okay, this one's getting ready to shut off. One thing you'll notice, especially once you go down on the 15 amp rate, the battery a lot of times will sit there and hold at kind of a voltage, maybe 7.1 or something like that. Then all of a sudden it's starting to go down. We'll go ahead and keep going here with the video. Shut off the alarm, click the center button, don't hold it down. Never hold down that top button. Never. That'll reset the unit. You have to go through the calibration video. Now you can see 25 amps. It's down to about 7.4 on the pack. Go ahead and click off the other bank. Start it discharging. The whole process, I don't know, what's it been? 3 to 7 minutes, just depending on how much of a charge you got in your battery. This battery was at a storage level about 7, 8. Probably half to 2/3 charged yet. So that kind of gives you an idea how long this goes on. About 3 to 7 minutes. Most any pack, you can have it discharged and then charge it right back up while it's still warm, still active, and that's what keeps your batteries nice. Okay, we're starting to creep down about to the shut-off point on the low rate. And you can see it dropping pretty quickly. That got one cell that's just about, dumped out, but not clear to the point that it's flat. And you can see this pack is now about 722. One of my better packs. It, probably could go down a little bit more, but yet that's at a good rate. The battery is pretty well discharged, not fully to the point it's going to hurt it. And we'll go ahead while it's got a little warmth in it, go ahead and then put it on the eye charger and charge it right back up. It said I'll come back after and you can see the voltage pretty equal between the two units. That's what we want to see, is that voltage equal when you calibrate it. That's something that we've done in the calibration video. I'll go ahead and charge this. Let it start up and I'll cut the video and I'll come back when I'm ready to take the battery back down to storage levels, show you how to adjust the unit. And I'll just show you, like on this battery, the internals will be below 2 or around 2, and by the time I'm done they'll be down to about 1.5. Sign of a real good pack. Again, depending how good your packs are, you may not have to be able to run the 35 amp rate. But usually, if it's a fully charged pack, you want to cycle it, you can discharge at 35. Anyway, this one's, I can check my eye charger and see my pack 1619. That probably will be 1.5 or so, maybe 1.5, 1.7, 1.4, 1.6 by the time it's done. So, show you that it's maintaining my packs to the best of they can do, and keeps them nice. You know, I don't know how much money you spend on your batteries, but if you're replacing your batteries every 6 months to a year, here's a unit. It'll help lengthen the life of your batteries and keep them in good shape. So, okay, we'll catch you when I go to discharge this down to storage levels, and I'll show you how to do it, how to how to readjust the unit. I'm back. Battery is charged. I'll just go, if you can see this or not, but I'm looking at the internal resistance of the pack. I've come back, it's probably 5-10 minutes after I've charged this battery, but the internal resistance when it finished up was 1216 on the 2 cells. These SMC cells, I've probably got 10-15 charges in them. They're the 4000s. I don't know if you can get them anymore, but they're good batteries. They've actually got better over the 10 or 15 charges. When I first got them, they were 1.6s. Or 1.7s, and one of them was like a 1.619. And that's probably this battery, and I'm pretty sure it is. It's number 1. It's actually got better. It's down to a 1.2 and a 1.6. So that's part of the idea of the discharging. It makes the batteries, it gets them actually better than when you receive them, especially in the first 10 runs or so. So, got the battery discharged, or charged, sorry about that. We'll go ahead and I'll show you right now if you want to take your batteries down to storage level. We'll need to adjust of course this is on a full discharge the last go there. So we'll need to do some readjustment to get it shut off at storage level. Something you can do, maybe you're done at the day or just cycling your packs. You haven't raced for a while. You got a battery charged. We'll go ahead. Battery isn't plugged in yet. We hold down the center button. That gets into the calibration or adjustment mode. Hold it down a couple seconds. Again, don't hold down that top one. But anyway, we're in adjustment mode. You go through the calibration video. It will show in there where I set some of these settings. But all we're going to worry about, and this is the only one you really ever need to adjust, is we'll need to set setting 12. and we'll click on through there. And I'll just say this when we go through, never change that 5, you'll know that in the calibration video, to yes. And how you change it is click the bottom or top button and the center one steps it through. But never change that to yes and then save it by holding it down, because that'll reset the unit. So don't do that. But we'll click on through to setting 12. I don't know, some of these settings, maybe you can see a little better. That's your shut-off voltage. Get a pack at about 7.6 to 7.8 volts, 7.6 to 7.8. We want to set this display at about 7.4. That's what I've been doing to store my batteries. So what we do, we can hold down the top button now when it's in the calibration mode. Don't do it otherwise. And that'll click it up real fast. And if you just click it, it'll go 1/100th of a time. But we got it set at 7.4. Top one goes up, bottom one goes down. Then we'll go on through. It'll go 13, 14, then you're back to the beginning. Again, your battery's not plugged in. We want to go to setting 4. That's your saved setting. We want to change it from N to Y. Either click the top or the bottom, change it to Y, then click the center button. Now we're ready to discharge for storage. And I'll go ahead through, get this going. Again, turn on both banks. We'll click it on. See, we're discharging about 38 amps here. Unit can handle that easily. We'll take this battery down until it shuts off. And probably what I'll do is go ahead and then click off one bank and do it again. And then we'll kind of see where the battery is at. Again, cycling these batteries, of course, after you discharge and charge it, your ideal situation and race situation is to run it as quickly as you can after you've charged it. That cell is active. That's where you get your lowest internal resistance. That means it will give up the most amps or whatever amps your motor draws at the highest voltage, because it's got the least resistance. That's why we do what we're doing, especially for stock racing. It gives you that little bit extra. Again, it should be down around 35, and like I say, the resistors are rated. It should be discharging about 35, but these are just a little bit higher than that. But it's dropping down there, and it's getting ready to shut off at 740. So that's where we did it. We'll click it. We'll see where the voltage is. Yeah, see, we're still up at 790 something. So at least kick the one bank off, let it go again. Shouldn't take too long. It'll be on down here to 740. But again, I've been doing this for quite a while. I've been discharging these, and it definitely gives you a slight performance increase. And the main thing, I'm seeing a lot better and longer life and better quality of life out of my batteries by discharging and then recharging right away. Just seems like the batteries like to be just a little bit warm and active when they're when they're charged and then run. That gets your best performance out of your batteries. And it's getting ready to shut off here. Again, I'll just as a reminder, always make sure it's plugged in correctly. That's the one thing I've found that could actually harm the unit. And now we'll see, it'll kind of creep back up here a little bit. It'll be around 780. If you want to take it down to 7.6, 7.7, click off the third bank and discharge it at 15. We're done, so I'm going to leave it right there. We'll unplug our battery, and then always remember, if you want a full discharge, to go ahead and reset that unit again. So you click it up to setting 12. We'll get it back down to 697, 696. That's where your unit will be set when you get it. Oh, I screwed up. Get back through to setting 12. And there you go. Click on through it. Get to setting 4. Save it. And then you're ready to discharge a full discharge again. Again, thanks for watching my video. Hope you'll be interested in buying one of these. I'm selling them on eBay for right now. We may go to Facebook eventually here. Not a big Facebook person. But I'll have a couple of these up right away, probably in the next day or two. Then I'm still waiting on resistors coming from overseas, of course, and I'll start kicking these out. Eventually I may put the black unit with the other display out there. Be a little more expensive, it costs a little more to build it, but hope you will try out one of my units. Keeps your batteries nice, and we'll catch you on the flip-flop here, probably when I build my black box one for these 35 amp ones. Thanks again.